It was the under 8 national championship and our 8-year-old boy was on the top board of the final round. If he won this game, he would become the national champion. He opened the game with one e4. His opponent played the Caro Kann. He played his pawn to d4 and then d5. The boy thought to himself, let's play the advanced variation of the Caro Kann, and he pushed his pawn to e5. His opponent played this gambit line with the move c5. Now this is a very popular gambit. The idea is that after you take the pawn, you go knight to c6 and now the knight attacks the pawn on e5. The boy defended the pawn and black came out with the bishop here on g4. Now the boy thought on the board, this pin in chess, you see the bishop, knight and the queen, 3 pieces in a row, is something very irritating. The 8-year-old boy felt, how should I break the pin? But then he remembered his father's lessons. Son, I'm going to show you 2 examples of how you can break the pin and win. So like, okay dad, can you show me? d4, d5, c4, e6, knight to c3, knight f6, cd5, ed5. This is the queen's gambit declined. Bishop g5 and now knight bd7. And a lot of people take this pawn, son. Like, okay dad, but this is a pin, so taking the pawn makes sense, right? Yes, but you can take the knight. What? You give up your queen? Yes. And then you give a check here and it's all over because he has to put the queen in between, and once he puts in the queen, you take, king takes, and then king takes d8 and black is a piece up. Here's one more example of how you can break the pin and win. e4, e5, knight f3, d6, and you play your knight to c3, bishop g4, bishop c4, and black plays the move h6. This is known as the legal's mate. What does white play now? You take the pawn. See, you break the pin and you give up your queen. You take here, bishop takes f7 check, king e7, and knight to d5 is checkmate. The 8-year-old boy was thinking very hard for his move. He remembered all that his dad had taught him. There was all the sweat on his head. And then he decided, I'll play my pawn to c3. Black player said, this is a pin. So he took the pawn on e5. Now, the black player thought that white will give a check on a4, hitting the bishop, breaking the pin. But the bishop can come back to d7 and then black is completely fine because it attacks the queen. Next move I can take the knight. But that was not what the 8-year-old boy wanted to do. He had learned from his father that sometimes you can break the pin because you have something more to win. Knight takes e5 and the opponent was left in a shock. His mouth was wide open. Oh my god, can I take the queen? Well, there came a check on b5 and now there is nothing that can be done. There is no piece that can interpose. The king cannot move. So the queen has to come in between, and after bishop takes d7, king d8, he took the bishop and he's actually 2 pieces up. He's threatening the f7 pawn and he went on to become the national champion. After coming back home, he told his father, Dad, what you taught me, I became the national champion. The dad couldn't be more proud of his little one.